Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my booktube channel. As you can tell from the title of today's video, I am in a book slump, or I was. You may or may not be about to watch me get through that book slump. You're just gonna have to stick around and find out. This video does kind of start off on a rocky, jumpy start because I think it was going to be 2 videos, but I just ended up putting all of my clips together into one big video. So I apologize for the beginning, but it's going to get better. Just stick with me. Anyways, we are going to be diving right in with the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, and I did just want to tell y'all a bit about this before you see me just start reading it. This is a historical romance with bits of fantasy elements involved. It is set in Victorian time, and we have the Wisteria Society, which is like a crime group, which our main character Cecilia is a part of. And we're just following her life when all of a sudden this man appears named Ned. And Ned came into the picture because he needs to assassinate her, which is kind of a long story. I'll just let you figure out. Those are our 2 main characters that happen to kind of have this instant attraction for one another, which doesn't really go along with their need to kill one another, if you can imagine, but just gets kind of interesting. This is the book we're going to be starting with in this reading vlog. I do read this via audiobook, so let's just dive right in. I hope you enjoy. But for now, we are going to continue the Wisteria Society for Lady Scoundrels. Yeah, that's like the longest title ever, but I'm on chapter 5. Nothing crazy, but let's begin. Alright, so it is much later. It is almost 10 o'clock and I made it up to chapter 14, but I think I'm going to stop here for the night. I did end up getting my tabs out and I just tabbed a few. Like, I don't have like a key or anything, but this book is so interesting. Like, the humor is not gonna be for everyone, but I like it. It's like, I don't know. There's a quote on the front of it that somebody said it is delightfully bonkers. And like, yeah, that kind of works. According to the audiobook, I'm at 52% and I have about 5 hours left. It's a really short book, but like I said, I am enjoying it, although it is quite odd. Like, the plot is all over the place and it doesn't flow very well. And I'd also would have preferred if our romance was a bit more of a slow burn, but I am still really enjoying their back and forth because they are enemies. I think that's all I have for now. I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow because I only have like 2.5 hours left with the speed I'm on, and then we can start another book. Alright, so I'm now back with an update because I did indeed finish the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I'm honestly having a hard time coming up with my final rating of this. I liked that this was a historical romance. I just think those romances are so charming and sometimes funny just because of how different they are to today's world. I'm thinking this is going to be around like a 3 stars, 3.5 maybe. It really reminded me of A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is a part of the Veronica Speedwell series. Okay, I just also realized that they're both set in like the Victorian time, so that probably definitely has something to do with it. Anyways, enough about this. It's time to pick my next read, and I'm honestly having a hard time with it. It's because I really want to read a fantasy, but preferably on my Kindle, and preferably one I already own to get it off my physical TBR, and that just like isn't happening. I think the only thing on Kindle Unlimited was the Curl Prince series, but I annotated the first one, so I probably want to continue to annotate the rest of the series meaning I'm not gonna read this on Kindle. And then as for other books, I went to Libby and I saw if they had Trust of the Emerald Sea ready, and they don't. I think I'm next in line for One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, which is a shame because this is a fantasy and like I'm so close, but it's not ready yet. I looked up Dance of Thieves and Powerless, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's read the first page and see what we think. Okay, wait, but if I'm going to physically read a book, shouldn't I just pick the fantasy that's already on my TBR? Oh wait, this isn't the next one. Oops, it's The Wicked King. That could have been a big mistake. Thank you guys so much for your help. I couldn't have done it without y'all. Let's read. Hi everyone. So I think it's still pretty early on to this vlog. I know I finished the Wisteria Society, that whole long title book, and then I did end up going out of town for a few days. I didn't record anything. I did finish an audiobook, which I did really like, but I'm not going to talk about that because I didn't film it. So I think the last thing that I filmed was me figuring out that I was going to read The Wicked King, and y'all kind of saw me struggle. Like, I was not knowing what to read, and I'm not sure this was the right decision, and I fear I'm going into a reading slump. I think I've picked this up twice, and I'm on page 8, and like, I don't even know if it's anything about the book. I mean, I'm only 8 pages in, how would I know? I think I'm going to pick this up one more time tonight, and if I don't read like a good 40 pages or something, then maybe we'll switch books. I just want to feel excited to read again, and I'm not feeling that way, so we gotta figure this out. I think it's been over a week since I have physically read more than like 20 pages of a book. So as you could guess, it's been pretty discouraging picking up books and not wanting to continue to read them. So I think I'm just going to scratch my monthly TBR. It's almost the next month, August anyways, so I don't even know what genre I should go for, or if I should read on my Kindle or physically. I really don't know. Oh, I forgot. I also started Butcher and Blackbird like a month or so ago, and I'm probably like 100 pages into this. I could pick this back up on audio. That might be a good idea too. So for fantasy, we have Olivia Blake's One for My Enemy. This doesn't seem too long. I believe this is like a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in New York. Then we also have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. But isn't this YA? Like, I just was reading The Cruel Prince, which was YA fantasy. I'm not sure I want to do that. Okay, going back to audiobooks, I think I'm in between these two for sure. I just looked them up to see how long they would be, and this one I think is around 8-ish hours, and then this one is around 5, but maybe even shorter with me reading like some already. And I have already read this and liked it. The only reason I didn't continue my audio is because I lost my hold. So I would probably have to get this audiobook on Audible, which kind of sucks. But when you're in a book slump, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I think we're going with this. Let's start this video off with a win and then hopefully continue reading physically. Still don't know what that book is gonna be, but we'll figure that out later. Page 37, 8%, going good. to page 100, which is 23%. I am really enjoying this. I don't know really where this is going, and I wonder if I knew more about Romeo and Juliet, if I would. I'm not sure how similar of a retelling this is, but I do know that I'm wanting to read this anytime I can, which is a good sign. I'm gonna go continue reading inside because it is too hot, but we just set up the bird feeders, so roll those clips. This is behind the scenes. We have Henry here. All of the cats love to birdwatch in this window. Which mug should we go with? I'm debating either the Luke's mug or the dragonfly one. On the days that I get to work from home, I love using that morning time to read. So that's what I'm doing. And I also have a dirty chai latte that is quite good and reminding me of fall. It's August 1st, so we are getting closer. Okay, hi everyone. It is officially the start of the weekend. It's Friday night. I'm very excited for all the things I'm going to do this weekend. But before I set y'all down and we talk a little, I wanted to show you kind of what I've been up to behind the scenes that y'all haven't seen. So a few things. I have this closet in my office, and it's not my main closet, so I used it for like a bunch of junk whenever I needed a spot to put something. So I have since then entirely cleaned that out, threw away stuff that needed to be thrown out. We just ran to Goodwill and dropped some stuff off, just like really good stuff, okay? But on top of that, you may be asking, why is my desk there? It's because I got a new desk. Also, that is wrapping paper that is still left over from my closet that I need to find a home for. But like I was saying, I got a new desk. This is a standing desk. I'm really excited because I don't know if I've shared this, but I got a walking pad and I'm excited to like work at my desk and walk. I feel like that doesn't sound very exciting, but I certainly am excited. So all that being said, I did end up starting an audiobook while all these changes were happening, because seriously, that closet was a lot. I started a book that I've been wanting to get to for a while, and that is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I started this on that audiobook app I have called Everand, so I'm listening to it. And so far, I will say I'm scared. Let me check how far in I am. I'm only like a little in. I think I've only listened to like an hour of this, maybe, but so far so good. I'm definitely intrigued to see what is going to come of this story. There's also a few like loose ends I'm excited to figure out. I don't know. I definitely do not reach for this genre often. Oh, but I think I filmed a few clips, but I got new books. We went to the bookstore and basically I saw a book by Taylor Adams, but I didn't buy it because I was like, well, I haven't even read the one that I own. So maybe if I read this, then I'll go back and get the other book. It's called No Exit. But yeah, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just blabbering basically I just wanted to say that I started a new book. It is an audiobook and I really want to finish another physical book before getting into an audiobook. I don't love how many audiobooks I've been doing in a row. Not for any particular reason, I'm just wanting to finish this before finishing another one. Which this is still really, really good. Still really enjoying this. This is so good actually. Okay, wait, I didn't even tell y'all what this was about. I'm pretty sure I told y'all what this one is about. If you need a refresher, it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It is set in modern day New York City. We have two rival families. I do not know how to pronounce their names. Okay, I'm gonna try and pronounce it, but we have one family that's called the Antonova sisters. They're all the girls, it's like a mom and 8 sisters. We have the Fedorov. I don't think I pronounced that right. But those brothers, there's 3 brothers and their dad, and yeah, they're witches, and it's really cool so far. As for the last word, this is a super interesting concept. That's why I picked this up, even though I don't usually reach for these types of books, because the concept was just so interesting. So basically we have our main character, Emma, and mind you, this is all taking place in like some isolated island or something. I don't know. She's house sitting this beach house or something. She literally does not talk to anyone except for her neighbor, and I do wonder if they're trying to like make us think that he did it, or if he does play into it. I really don't know. That's really the only other point of contact we have in this book. But she reads some book and it was like 99 cents on Amazon. She goes to review it, it has no reviews. She rates it 1 star, and now it seems as though someone is like stalking her or something. There's like mysterious things happening in her house that she's house sitting for. And they want us to believe it's this author, which I do think it is the author, I think. I don't know. They had some contact when she left a review that was like, this was the worst book ever. And he was like, can you delete this comment? And she was like, no. And he was like, he said something threatening, and now we are to believe that he may be coming after her because of that comment. I'm gonna listen to this, but then we will end the night with one for my enemy, I promise. And one last thing, I'm about to crack open this witch's brew that I love so much and my boyfriend so dearly. Got these from Canada. Spent too much money on them because he knows how much I love them, and they're not back in season yet. He did this last month because he's an angel and I love him. So this is 4 out of 5. Hopefully they come back soon and I can restock, but I'm opening up a Alani Nu witch's brew. It's only like 6:30. We have a long night ahead of us with a lot of reading, so. We have an update, and that is that I finished my first physical book for the first time in like 3 weeks. So pretty excited about that. Let's talk about it. I finished One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, and it was so good. I think I told y'all previously that I had no idea where the story was going to go, and that definitely stayed true all throughout. I feel like it didn't follow that stereotypical like formula that a lot of books have, and I really enjoyed that. It kept me on my toes. I don't read a lot of fantasy books that are like one book only, like standalones. I usually read a series. So this was definitely interesting. I feel like there was no world building in the beginning. She just started telling the story and you were meant to like catch on. And I mean, there wasn't a lot of rules with the magic. We never really learned anything. It could have been really cool if this was like a duology. Like, I just loved these characters, and I so could have seen them having more stories, like more of the siblings. I did really love all the characters. It also was confusing that there were so many of them and they all had like nicknames. I was like, okay, come on, I already can't remember your name, and then somebody else is gonna call them one thing, another person's gonna call them something else. The mom and the oldest daughter had the same first name. It's like, okay, come on. I had originally thought a 4-star. Maybe I'll stick to that. I was debating going a little higher because the quotes in this, her writing, amazing. I will now pick up more of her books because of this book. So it made me want to read. That's all I really wanted. Okay, moving on. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I told you all that I started that audiobook. So good. Let me see where I'm at. I'm on chapter 19 of 49. It says I have 2 hours and 51 minutes left. I'm scared. I don't read thrillers, so I'm like, is this book gonna have a happy ending? I don't know. Do thrillers have good endings? But that's not what I want to focus on tonight. I actually want to pick up Catherine Center's Hello Stranger. I'm really into Kindle reading right now. So this was a book on my physical TBR that was available ASAP on Kindle, or like my Libby app, you know. Let me tell you what this is about. I just read it because I didn't know either, and I think it's a love triangle, which is something, we'll see. We have our main character, Sadie, and she has been diagnosed with a probably temporary condition known as face blindness. And I believe she like paints for a living, so this is going to be interesting for her career. I'm going to start this tonight. It is currently about to be 8 p.m. I'm excited for easier book to read, a nice romance after that fantasy. That was hard for me to read. Okay, let's read. Okay, hi. It's probably really dark right here, so I am sorry, but I'm gonna film here anyways. It is currently Thursday night. My boyfriend has plans for the night, and we like never have plans. So what I'm hearing is I have a night full of uninterrupted reading time. I'm going to tell y'all my goal at the start of the night, and I'm just seriously going to try and read for the entire time straight. We'll see how that goes. I'm still reading Hello Stranger. I'm on chapter 21, 61% through. And it says I have 2 hours and 59 minutes left in the book, so 3 hours.
It's 7:43 p.m.
It's 7:43 p.m. If I really tried, I could finish this tonight, but that is a bit past my bedtime, and I'm not sure I can read for this whole time straight. I don't know, we're gonna find out, but let's get reading. I think I might read a lot on my walking pad to try and like stay awake and focused. But yeah, page 206. Let's begin. What? What? I have a guess on this book's ending, and I feel like I'm right. We'll see. Okay, I'm officially getting tired, and it's 9:05, so I thought we would move to the walking pad. Let me tell you where we're at. We're at 80%, 1 hour and a half left of the book, and I'm on page 270. So I'm feeling pretty good. Here is the setup. I just have it attached to the desk, and I am going to use my clicker. I knew it. I'm crying. Crying on a treadmill while reading. So, I have finished the book. And I feel like a lot of the times after I finish a book, I'm in this high and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was so good. And I give it like a really high rating. And you know what? I'm actually not feeling that way about this book. My initial thoughts are like a 3-star. It's 9:55. It's time to just go rot on TikTok. Hi again. You've made it to the end of the video. I know it was a long one, but I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what length of vlogs you like the most. But real quick, I just want to talk about the 5 books that I read in this vlog and kind of tell you my final thoughts. Starting off with the books I read at the end of July, we have The Wisteria Society. I'm not gonna read this entire title again, but this was very goofy and interesting, and it didn't fully grasp my attention. Like, I wasn't excited to pick this up every time, but I did tab a few quotes that I thought were really funny and enjoyed, and I gave this a 3.25. I'm going to continue the series. Next up, we have Butcher and Blackbird, and I read this during like the peak of my reading slump, so this was a bit hard to get through, and I feel like I'm not doing it its full justice. But this is a different read for me. This is a dark romance. It was my first one, and I don't think it'll be my last. I did enjoy this, and because of how different the concept was to anything else I had read, it was easy to want to pick up and see where it went. It wasn't my favorite. I'm going to give this a 3.5. I actually don't know if I'm going to continue the series, but their banter was top notch. Then we finally get to my first physical read of this video, and my first physical read of like maybe multiple weeks. Like I said, book slump. So this is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, and I cannot stop thinking about this book. I literally went in this morning and tabbed a few of the things that I highlighted on my Kindle, and I miss it already. I already miss these characters. These quotes are so good. I'm going to read y'all one of my favorite quotes that I've ever read in my life. Out of context, of course, but it says, "When he opened his eyes again, she was smiling down at him, mean and victorious and cruelly beautiful. And she was everything, everything he had ever loved. She was the sun, the moon, and the stars. She was fantasy incarnate, and she had chosen him." Anyways, I'm bumping this up to a 4.25 stars. Like I said, I can't stop thinking about it. And I am actually going to go ahead and say that this pulled me out of the reading slump. I really enjoyed this. And then I picked up another audiobook, which was The Last Word, and I'm giving this 5 stars. I don't read thrillers often, so to me, this is 5 stars. I really liked it. I want to reread it again without knowing anything. That's how much I liked this. However, if you're big into thrillers and mysteries, this might not be a 5 stars for you. I'm pretty clueless. I didn't know what was gonna happen. And the last book that we have read in this vlog, which was Hello Stranger. I don't even think guys, this book is insane. I don't think I can talk about it without wanting to say spoilers. I mean, our main character, the situation, the ending, it was all a bit too much. I can often turn a blind eye to certain things, but not with this book. Although I'm ending on a bad note, once again, physically read this, really proud that I was able to just sit down last night and just binge through this. So I'm going to say I have successfully gotten out of my reading slump. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. Overall, I think I just needed time to kind of let myself not read and want to read again. And then it just had to do with reading the right book at the right time, which happened to be One for My Enemy. Wait, actually one more thing. I know I just said a lot of negative things about this, but I enjoyed the first 50% of this a lot. It wasn't my favorite setup. Kind of made me anxious, but I still did really enjoy this. I usually like Catherine Center's writing. At the end of it, I don't know if I did cry, but I definitely teared up. Like, I'm a sucker for romance, so that's why it's still getting a 3 stars. Okay, now we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.